Greystoke, check out this awesome necklace that my husband got me at KitsuneCon. Hopefully you can see it. So today, as you probably noticed because you read the title of this video, we are going to talk about sharing your work with others. If you are a writer, one of the scariest parts is sharing your work with other people. It is inevitable if you're serious about this writing thing, so let's talk about it a little bit. Let's say you're just sort of starting out and you've maybe finished something that you are serious about, and you're like, okay, what's next? Well, you can't go straight to publishers. Sorry. You do have to show it to other people and get some outside opinions on it. But that's a really scary concept, so I recommend that you start with your friends and family, or a teacher, or someone who is a great supportive figure in your life. That can be a great way to dip your toe into showing people your work without diving headfirst into, like, critique land. However, I really encourage you to encourage people you have reading your story to give their honest opinion and feedback about it. If you're just doing it to be praised, well, then you're probably not as serious about this writing thing as you thought you were. It's fine to give your book to your granddad or something like that, knowing that he's just going to praise the crap out of it, but you should also try to give it to people you know are going to be able to help you make it better and critique it. Once you have gotten your feet wet with this try with your family members, then it's probably time to start looking for beta readers, who are people, either people that you know or people that you find online, let's be honest, who will read and critique your work. If you're interested in ways to find beta readers, I have a vlog all about that, links in the doobly-doo. A common fear that I hear people saying when they're first thinking about sharing their work is, but somebody's going to steal it. No, they're really not. Hard fact here, it doesn't happen much ever. If somebody does, for some reason, steal your work, you have the proof on your computer probably to show that it was yours first. If that does happen, which it won't, just make noises like you're calling lawyers and I bet you they'll back off. Here's the thing, if you're showing your work to betas who are either readers or fellow writers, they have no interest in stealing your work. If they're readers, they aren't really looking to get writing out there themselves, they're looking to read something. And if they're other writers, they don't need to steal your story, they have their own. We need to stop perpetuating this idea that if you put your book out there, it's immediately going to get stolen. It's not helpful to anyone. If you're especially worried about it and you're sending your work to betas, you can always do what I do and send it in sections. This isn't why I do that, but if you send it in sections, it's gonna take somebody really fucking dedicated to steal your work. Okay, so you showed it to your family, you showed it to beta readers, who else can you show your work to? Well, you can show your work to a critique partner. A critique partner is another author. People advise that you try to find an author who's about at the same level of skill as you are. Sometimes that is very hard to do, I understand. And understand that if you do find a critique partner, your partners, that means that you have to read each other's work. They're not just going to read yours and give feedback. So now you've got all of your work out there. Oh, that was so scary. Whew. But now you're getting the feedback and those emails roll in and you're like, no, this is scarier. This is scarier now. If you're doing the right thing and you're asking for honest critique and feedback, you're gonna have to brace yourself. Prepare yourself mentally, maybe eat some chocolate, because there's going to be good, there's going to be bad, and there's going to be frustrating. Not everybody who critiques your work is going to have great, insightful, helpful advice for you, so you are just going to have to eventually develop that skill as you go through it of finding the people who have helpful things to say and finding the people who just have dumb things to say. A kind of a good way to tell the difference is if somebody has a lot of details about why they feel a certain way about your story versus somebody who's just like, I didn't like the main character. What you really want is the person who is like, I feel like the main character might be a little bit of an unlikable character right now. Here are some things that he did that made him unlikable, but I feel like if you just tweak those, you'll get him to being a deep character without him being an unlikable character. Do your best to be easy to work with. This can be hard. When you're an author, you have to swallow a lot of humble pie. Disgusting, slimy, gross humble pie. Somebody might come back with some feedback that you just think will not work. It's the worst feedback you've ever gotten. You hate it. There's always going to be that urge to immediately start typing back to them, well, that won't work with my story because this. Resist that urge, I beg of you, and don't message the person back about it. Just send them your next section, thank them for their helpful comments, and move on. It takes a lot of grace to be an author, and I don't think a lot of people actually realize that. Because when you are an author, you are putting a part of yourself out there for people to rip to shreds, and you have to learn how to smile and thank people for doing it. It's not easy. One final pro tip for you if you are sharing your work: don't go find your favorite author, your favorite writing YouTuber, and pester them and send them your stuff. That's really rude, and it's going to make them avoid you in the future. If you're ever going to have the chance of them reading your work, which probably will never happen, but hey, hope springs eternal, shoving it in their face is 100% the wrong way to do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Some authors will have ways that you can send in your work for critique, especially since a lot of them have things like Patreon right now, where if you support them monetarily, they can give you a critique on so many words. So check that out, but don't just start sending them your stuff. I hope this has been a helpful video for you. Do you have any advice about sharing your work? Leave a comment below and let me know. Are you nervous about sharing your work and want to talk about it with me? That's what the comment section is for. As most of you know, I post new videos here Mondays and Fridays, so come check those out. Links in the doobly-doo to all of my social media. I'm filming a lot of videos today, so I'm getting really hyper with my filming a lot of videos dance. Anyway, I will see all of you guys again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!